This is May-June 2025, paper 2-2. Question 1. The diagram shows part of a pattern with rotational symmetry of order 4. Complete the diagram. Rotational symmetry of order 4 basically means that this shaded box, it should appear a total of 4 times in this diagram. The diagram shows 3 boxes. First of all, we'll focus on the straight lines. This straight line is 4 boxes long. So this other straight line will also be 4 boxes long. We'll extend it for 2 more boxes. Then if we look at the pattern, for one straight line, this box is appearing above the line, this box is appearing below the line. So we'll follow the same pattern on this other straight line as well. If the first box is below the line, the other box will be above the line. Question 2a, write 18,012 in figures. This will simply be written as 18012. 18,000 basically means 18 with 3 digits in front of it, and 12, it just means this. When we add both of them together, we get this number. Part B, write down a prime number between 20 and 30. So prime number is basically a number that is a factor of 1 and is a factor of itself. Between 20 and 30, there are only 2 prime numbers, that are 23 and 29. So we pick 23. Part C, find the reciprocal of 1 over 9. We'll just flip the fraction around to get the reciprocal. That will be equal to 9 over 1. This can also be written as 9. Question number 3a, write the ratio 175 milliliter to 2.5 liters in its simplest form. Now the units are not conforming with each other, so we'll change liters into milliliter. 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliter. So 2.5 liters will be equal to x. When we multiply 2.5 and 1000, we get 2500 milliliters. Now if we simplify 175 and 2500, milliliter and milliliter will cancel because they're the same units. And when we simplify this using 5, because both the digits are divisible by 5, we're getting the answer 7:100. In question number 3b, Dan, Erica, and Fatik share $540 in the ratio 4:5:3. Find the amount that Erica receives. So Erica's amount in ratios is given. We need to find it in dollars. So basically, first we'll find the total number of shares. 4 plus 5 plus 3, that is equal to 12. So there are 12 total shares, and the total amount of money is $540. So we can solve this by ratios. The total amount of money is 540. The total number of shares is 12. The number of shares that Erica has in ratios is 5. And the amount of money that she has is unknown, so we'll put that as x. So 12x is equal to 540 multiplied by 5. This is x is equal to 540 multiplied by 5 divided by 12. And when we simplify this using a calculator, we're getting the answer 225. So this is Erica's share in dollars. Question number 4, it's showing us a diagram. Find the value of x and the value of y. So first we'll find the value of x. Now by seeing the diagram, both of these lines are parallel to each other. So the angles that are enclosed within parallel lines are known to be interior angles. So angle 128 and angle x, both of these are interior angles. The rule about interior angles is that sum of all interior angles is equal to 180 degree. So that means x plus 128 degree is equal to 180 degree. When we solve this using a calculator, the answer we are getting is 52 degree. So x is equal to 52 degrees. Now by seeing the diagram, we can see that all lines are straight lines and parallel to each other. So this angle will also be 128 according to the rule vertically opposite angles. Then this entire shape right here, because it is made up of parallel lines, it is a parallelogram. And as it is a parallelogram, we know that in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal to each other. So y will be 128 degrees. Question number 5, convert 6.1 meter square to centimeter square. Now we know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. When we put square on both sides, 1 meter square is equal to 100 centimeter squared. We've put square on both sides. So 1 meter square is equal to 10,000 centimeters square. Now if we solve it using ratios, 1 meter square ratio 10,000 centimeters square. So 6.1 will be equal to x. When we multiply 6.1 by 10,000, we'll get the answer 61,000 centimeters square. Question number 6. In a survey, students are asked to choose their favorite type of movie. The table shows the results. The table is showing us type of movies and relative frequency. Now, the sum of relative frequency is always equal to 1. So we'll put thriller, because we do not know the relative frequency of thriller, we'll put it in as x, and then we'll solve it. 0.1 plus x plus 0.35 plus 0.3, this will be equal to 1, because sum of relative frequencies is always equal to 1. X will now be equal to 1 minus 0.1 minus 0.35 minus 0.3, which is equal to 0.25. So x is equals to 0.25. In part B, 500 students take part in a survey. Calculate the number of students who choose science fiction. We can solve this by using ratios. The total relative frequency is 1. Total number of students are 500. And the relative frequency of students whose favorite movie is science fiction is 0.35. So 0.35 is the relative frequency, and the total number of students who choose science fiction is unknown. We'll put it as x. X is equal to 0.35 multiplied by 500, and this is equal to 175. Question number 7. Chris wants to exchange $350 for euros at the bank. The bank only gives euros in multiples of 5. The exchange rate is $1 is equal to 0.92 euros. Calculate the number of euros he receives and his change from 350. So the exchange rate is $1 is equal to 0.92, and he wants to exchange $350. So 350, we have to calculate the number of euros he is receiving, so that will be equal to x. Now when we solve this, x is equal to 350 multiplied by 0.92, that is equal to 322 euros. Now we have to calculate his change from $350. The question is stating that the bank only gives euros in multiples of 5. 322 is not a multiple of 5, so we'll convert 322 into the nearest possible number that is divisible by 5. The nearest possible number divisible by 5 is 320. When we divide 320 by 5, we get 64. So he's receiving a total of 64 notes. Now, from 322, if he's getting 320, so $2 are remaining. These $2 are his change. If we convert this into euros using the same ratio, $1 is equal to 0.92 euros. So $2 is equal to x. His change will be equal to 2 multiplied by 0.92, that is equal to, so from 322, if he is receiving 320 euros, only 2 euros will be left behind. If we convert 2 euros into dollars, $1 is equal to 0.92. So 2 euros will be equal to x. X is equal to 2 divided by 0.92. And this is equal to 2.17. So his change in dollars is equal to 2.17. So Chris receives 322 euros and his change in dollars is 2.17. Question number 8. Calculate the interior angle of a regular octagon. Now, the formula to calculate the interior angle of any regular shape is 180 multiplied by n minus 2 divided by n, where n stands for the number of sides. Now in the question it's stating that the shape is an octagon. An octagon, oct, this term oct, it stands for 8. So an octagon will have total 8 sides. So here in this question, n will be equal to 8. We'll input 8 into the formula. 180 bracket n minus 2 divided by n. This will be equal to 180 bracket 8 minus 2 divided by 8, and the final answer will be 135 degrees. So one angle of a regular octagon is equal to 135 degrees. Question number 9a. On the Venn diagram, shade the region represented by A intersection B whole complement. So basically A intersection B means the common area between A and B. This sign, it represents intersection. So basically A intersection B will be this tiny region right here. But the question is stating A intersection B whole complement. Now this little dash right here, it represents complement. Complement means everything outside of A intersection B. So we'll basically be shading everything aside from this small factor right here. So we'll be shading this region. We'll be shading the entire area, entire diagram except for this small part. So this will be the final shading. In part B, in a class of 12 students, in a class of 22 students, 12 play piano, 9 play the guitar, 6 do not play the piano or the guitar. Find the number of students who play both the piano and the guitar. So we have to find the number of students who play both. We'll put this as X. I label the Venn diagram. This is for the students who play piano. This is for those who play the guitar. So those who play the piano and the guitar are X. I'll put X in the center. Now, according to the data given in the question, 12 play the piano. So I'll put 12 minus X, and 9 play the guitar. So 9 minus X. And 6 do not play the piano or the guitar. So 6 will be the number outside. Now I'm subtracting 12 minus X over here because the question does not state 12 play only the piano. 12 is basically giving us the number that play. 12 is basically representing the number of students that play piano. That means this entire circle will be equal to 12. Same is the case with guitar. 9 are the total number of people including X that play guitar. This is why in only the piano region we're putting 12 minus X. Now we'll form an algebraic equation to find the value of X. That is, total number of students are 22 is equal to 12 minus X plus 9 minus X plus 6. 22 is equal to 12 minus X plus 9 minus X plus 6. Both of these will cancel each other out. We'll be getting 22 minus 12 is equal to 22 minus 12 minus 9 minus 6 is equal to minus X minus 5 is equal to minus X. Minus and minus will cancel each other out, so the final answer for X will be 5. Question number 10. Simplify 7x square y to the power 5 divided by x cube y to y square. So if we open and simplify, this can also be written as x into y can be written 5 times. Then x on the bottom can be written 3 times and y can be written 2 times. X and x will cancel out with 2 x's. 2 y's can cancel out with 2 y's. So the remaining 7y cube divided by x. So the final answer is 7y cube divided by x. This question can also be solved by using indices rules. 7x to, when we bring x in the denominator to x in the numerator, the power will become negative. X to the power minus 3, y to the power 5. When y is shifted from denominator to numerator, the power will become negative minus 2. This can also be written as 7x. When two digits are being multiplied with each other, that means the power will add. 2 plus and minus will become minus. So minus 3 y to the power 5 plus and minus once again will become minus 2. So the final answer would be 7x to the power minus 1 y to the power 3, and in order to convert this negative sign into positive, we'll bring x to the denominator again. So the final answer would be 7y cube divided by x. Question 11a. Zaya invests $4,500 in a savings account. The account pays simple interest at a rate of 3.2% per year. Calculate the value of investments at the end of 5 years. Now, because this question is relating to simple interest, the formula for simple interest is A is equal to P bracket 1 plus RT. P stands for the total amount that has been invested, which is 500 in this question. R stands for the simple interest rate, that is 3.2% per year. And T stands for the total time period, which is 5 years. So A is equal to 4500 bracket 1 plus 3.2 divided by 100 multiplied by 5. When we solve this, the answer will be $5,220. So the value of investment at the end of 5 years is 5,220. In part B, Aisha invests $2,750 in a different savings account. This account pays compound interest at a rate of 2.1% per year. Calculate the total amount of interest she receives at the end of 3 years. So the formula for compound interest is A is equal to P bracket 1 plus R to the power T, where P is the amount of money that she has invested, which is 2,750. R is the rate of compound interest, which is 2.1%, and T is the time period, which is 3. So the total amount after 3 years will be 2,750 multiplied by 1 plus 2.1 divided by 100 to the power 3, and this will be 2,926.914. This is the total amount that she'll be getting after 3 years. In order to find the interest, the formula for interest is equals to total amount minus original amount that was invested. So 2,926.914 minus the original amount, which is 2,750. So the interest is 176.9. Question 12 is factorize 7hx plus 6fy minus 21fx minus 2hy. So first what I'm going to do is rearrange this entire equation so that the terms that are divisible by a common number will be together. So here 7 and 21, both of them are divisible by 7, so I'll put them together, and 2 and 6 are divisible by 2, so they'll be put together. 7hx minus 21fx plus 6fy minus 2hy. Then I'll get the common digits, 7 and x is also common, so I'll get x2. 7x bracket h minus 7 3s are 21, so 3f, plus here I'll take 2 and y common, 2y bracket 2 into 3 is 6, so 3f minus h. Now these two brackets are not same because in the first bracket h is positive and in the second bracket h is negative. So I'll take the negative sign common as well. 7x bracket h minus 3f minus 2y bracket h minus 3f. Basically, by taking negative sign common over here, I'll change all the signs inside. So positive 3f will become negative and negative h will become positive. So the final factorized equation will be 7x minus 2y bracket h minus 3f. Question number 13. A bag contains 9 red counters and 3 green counters. Lee takes 2 counters from the bag at random without replacement. In part A, complete the tree diagram. So there are total 9 red counters and a total of 3 green counters. So this blank will be 3 divided by total, that are 12. Now if you consider only the first part of this diagram, this part, if one red is taken, so the remaining red will be 8, total 9, 1 is taken, remainder will be 8. Now if red is taken and no greens are taken, so the probability for green to be chosen would be 3, that is the total number of green counters, divided by 11. Because one red counter has been taken, so the total will reduce by 1. In the second part, 3 divided by 12. If green is taken, so no red is taken. So the total red counters were 9. 1 is taken, so 12 will reduce by 1. So the total will be 11. If one green counter has been taken, 3 will become 2. 2 divided by total, that are now 11. In part B, work out the probability that both counters are red. So we'll be considering the first case, that is red being taken once and red being taken again. The probability for red being chosen the first time is 9 divided by 12 multiplied by probability of red being chosen a second time, which is 8 divided by 11. So 8 divided by 11. Basically, when we say 2 red counters are being taken, so we say red and red. And when the term and is present, we always put the sign multiply. We always use a multiplication sign. If you're using the word or, we'll use the addition sign. So for and, we use multiplication. For or, we'll use addition. When we multiply 9 over 12 multiplied by 8 divided by 11, we'll be getting, the simplified form would be 6 divided by 11. Question 14 shows a diagram. PQRS is a cyclic quadrilateral. APB is tangent to the circle at P. Angle SPB is 37 and angle PSQ is 85. In part A, find angle PQS. PQS, we have to find this angle. So basically, I'll be using the concept of alternate segments. The concept of alternate segments is that the angle between the tangent and the chord is equal to the angle in the alternate segment. So here the tangent is AB and the chord is PS. PS is the chord. So the angle between the tangent and the chord is 37 degree. And the alternate segment in this case is PQS. So this is the alternate segment. So PQS will also be equal to 37 degree according to the law of alternate segments. In part B, find angle QRS. So we need to find QRS, that is this angle right here. QRSP, this whole entire figure is a quadrilateral. And first we'll find out angle P. In order to find angle P, we'll take angle Q and angle S. Basically, the sum of all angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degree. So angle P plus 37 degree plus 85 degree should be equal to 180. So angle P will be 58 degrees. The rule for a cyclic quadrilateral is that the sum of opposite angles is equals to 180 degree. So basically, angle R plus angle P is equal to 180 degree. Angle P is 58. angle R will be 180 minus 58, and that is equal to, angle R is 122 degrees. Question number 15. These are the first 4 patterns in a sequence made from black beads and from white beads. Complete the table for pattern 5. So basically we have to judge the pattern and find the pattern for number 5. If we look at it closely, the number of white beads, they're increasing by 2, then 7 to 9. This is also increasing by 2, 9 to 11 plus 2. So if we add 2 to 11, this will be equal to 13. Then with the total number of beads, 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 5 is 15, 15 plus 6 is 11, so 21 plus 7, and that will give us 28. In part B, find an expression for the number of white beads in pattern N. Now for number of white beads, 5, 7, 9, 11, then 13, and so on. All of these are increasing by 2. The difference is common between all the terms. So this is an arithmetic progression. The formula for an arithmetic progression is an is equals to a plus n minus 1 multiplied by the common difference. Here a represents the first term. The first term is 5 plus n here stands, we need to find n. So we write n minus 1 as it is, and then d is the common difference, that is 2. So the final progression would be 5 plus 2n minus 1, and when we simplify this, we get 3 plus 2n. In part B2, the total number of beads in pattern N. So the total number of beads are 6, then 10, then 15, then 21, and last is 28. So first of all, the differences are plus 4, then plus 5, plus 6, and plus 7. And the difference between these differences is plus 1. So this is a quadratic sequence. Now, in order to find quadratic sequences, the general formula is an square plus bn plus c, where a is equal to the second difference divided by 2. Here, the second difference is 2. The second difference is 1. Here, the second difference is equal to 1. So, we'll do 1 divided by 2. A will be 1 divided by 2. Then in order to find b, the general formula is 3a plus b is equal to the first difference. Here, the first difference as shown is plus 4. Plus 4 is the first difference. So, when we solve it, 3a plus b is equal to 4. 3, the value of a is 1 divided by 2, plus b is equal to 4. So b will be equal to, b is 5 divided by 2. Then we'll find c. In order to find c, we'll use the general equation a plus b plus c, which is equal to the first term. The first term of the sequence is 6. So we'll put 6 here. Now the value of a was 1 divided by 2. The value of b was 5 over 2. The value of c has to be found. This all is equal to 6. So c will be equal to, c is equal to 3. Now the expression for the total number of beads in pattern N is half n square plus 5 over 2n plus C. Part C, Bill has only 88 white beads but lots of black beads. Pattern P is the largest possible pattern he can make using these beads. Work out the value of P. Now, the number of white beads are given to us. If we find the formula, we have the formula for the number of white beads. The formula was this. Now, using the formula for the white beads, we'll find out the value of P. The number of white beads was equal to 88. 88 is equals to 2n plus 3. Here n is basically P. So I'll replace n by P. 88 minus 3 divided by 2 is equals to P. P is equal to 42.5. So the largest possible value, whole number value of P would be 42. Question number 16. The population of Kenya is 5.71 into 10 to power 7 people. The area of Kenya is 6 multiplied by 10 to power 5 kilometers square. The population density is the number of people per kilometer square. Calculate the population density. The formula is simply given to us. Population density is equal to number of people. Per can be replaced by divide and per kilometer square. So, population density is equal to number of people divided by kilometer square. The number of people is given in the question, that is 5.71 into 10 to power 7. And the area is also given. The area of Kenya is 6 multiplied by 10 to power 5 kilometer square. So 6 into 10 to the power 5. When we put this in the calculator, we're getting the answer 95.167 people per kilometer square. That is 95.167. Question 17a, f of x is equal to 10 minus x divided by 3. Find f bracket minus 8. Now f bracket minus 8, it basically means that x is equal to minus 8. We will substitute all the values of x by minus 8. So 10 minus x will be replaced by minus 8 divided by 3. This will be 10 plus 8 divided by 3. That is 18 divided by 3, and this is equal to 6. 3 into 6 is 18. So the final answer will be 6. Now in part B, we have to find g inverse of x. So basically first I'll replace gx by y. Y is equal to 4x plus 3. Now in order to find the inverse, I'll switch y and x with each other. So I'll basically write x in place of y and y in place of x. X is equals to 4y plus 3. Then I have to make y the subject of the equation. So x minus 3 is equal to 4y and y is equal to x minus 3 divided by 4. This is basically g inverse of x. Question 18. 300 students take part in a competition. The table shows information about their scores. The score is given, the frequency is given. Frequency is basically f. F is frequency. And part A is telling us to calculate an estimate of the mean score. Mean, the formula for mean is sigma fx divided by total. So f is the frequency, x is basically the midpoint of the scores. So x, 0 and 30, the midpoint is 15. The midpoint of 30 and 40 is 35. Between 40 and 60 is 50. Then 65. And last is 85. Then we have to find out fx. Fx for each individual. 15 multiplied by 24 is 360. 70 multiplied by 35 is 2450. 88 multiplied by 50 is 4400. Then 76 multiplied by 65 is 4940. And 42 multiplied by 85 is 3570. Now we have to find out sigma fx. Basically means adding all fx together. So 360 plus 2450 plus 4400 plus 4940 plus 3570, and the total is, in the question it's written 300, so the total will be 300. When we put this in the calculator, the final answer is 52.4. So the mean is 52.4. Now in part B states, on the grid complete the histogram to represent the data in the table. So frequency density is on the y-axis, score is on the x-axis. Frequency density, the formula is, it's basically equal to frequency divided by class width. Class width is basically the difference between these two intervals. The difference between 0 and 30 will be the class width between 30 and 40, and so on. So here I'll write the class width 30, then the interval between 30 and 40 is 10. Here it's 20, 10 again, and the difference between 70 and 100 is 30. So I'll copy this below to make everything easier. Now to find the frequency density, I'll just divide 24 by 30. 0.8, then 7, 4.4, then we have 7.6, and last is 1.4. Now we'll plot this on the histogram to complete the grid. Frequency density is on the y-axis and score is on the x-axis. On the y-axis, one small box is equal to 0.2, and on the x-axis, one small box is equal to 2. So basically, when we're going to plot it, frequency density is 0.8. From score 0 till 30, we have the frequency density 0.8. So this is 0.8. From 40 to 60, we have the frequency density 4.4. So 4.4 will be somewhere over here. '60 to 70 will be right here. This is equal to 7.6. So 7.6 is and from 70 to 100, we have the frequency density 1.4. So 1 is over here, 1.2, 1.4. This will be the final diagram. Question number 19a, complete the table of values for y is equals to x cube minus 5x plus 4. So this place is empty. X is equals to minus 3. So we'll input the value of minus 3 for all x. Minus 3 cube minus 5 minus 3 plus 4. Y will be equal to minus 8. In part B, we have to draw the graph for values between minus 3 and 3. So using the table, we'll just plot all the values. the first value is -3 and -8. So one small box on the y-axis will be equal to 1. So -3 and -8 will be here. Then -2 and -6, -2 and 6, -1 and 8, 0 and 4, 1 and 0 will be here, 2, 2, 3, 16, and we'll just draw a curve. In part C, by drawing a suitable straight line on the grid, find the solution for the equation x cubed minus 5x minus 3 is equals to 0. Now our original equation was x cubed minus 5x plus 4 is equal to y. We'll compare both the equations. X cubed minus 5x, we'll take 4 on the other side, is equal to y minus 4. Now in order to bring this minus 3, we'll subtract 3 on both sides. X cubed minus 5x minus 3 is equal to y minus 4. When we compare it, x cubed minus 5x minus 3 is equal to 0. So y minus 4 minus 3 will be equal to 0. And this y will be equal to positive 7. So y is equals to positive 1 will be our solution. We'll draw the line y is equals to positive 7 on the graph. Now the question is asking for the values of x as the solution. So wherever this line y is equals to 7 is touching the blue graph will be the values of x. So one point is right here, the second point is here, and the third point is here. This will be 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. So the first solution is minus 1.7. The second solution would be minus 0.6. And the third solution would be 2.5. Question number 20. A, B, C, D and E, F, G, D are rectangles. In part A, show that CD is equal to x minus 1. So when we're looking at the triangle, EF is equal to GD, which is equal to 2x minus 3. And CG is equals to x minus 2. So if we need to find CD will be equal to GD minus CG. So this will be GD is equals to 2x minus 3 subtracted by CG, that is x minus 2. When we solve this, the answer will be 2x minus 3 minus x plus 2. And this will be equal to x minus 1. In part 2, the area of rectangle ABCD is 1/5 of the area of rectangle EFGD. Form an equation and show that it simplifies to x squared minus xx plus 3 is equals to 0. So now for the rectangle ABCD, we have the length, that is x minus 1. We need to find the width. And this width can be found by subtracting FG from EA. So AD is equal to FG, that is x plus 3, minus EA, that is x. So that is equal to AD is equal to 3. So we have area of rectangle ABCD is equals to length into width. The length was x minus 1 and the width is 3. So the area of rectangle ABCD is 3x minus 3. Now for area of rectangle EFGD, we'll be multiplying the length and the width. The length is 2x minus 3 and the width is x plus 3. The width is x plus 3. When we multiply both of these together, we'll be getting 2x square plus 6x minus 3x minus 9. When we simplify this equation, we'll be getting 2x square plus 3x minus 9. Now the question is telling us the area of ABCD is 1/5 of the area of EFGD. So ABCD is 1/5 of EFGD. Now the area of ABCD is 3x minus 3. So 3x minus 3 is equals to 1/5 multiplied by 2x square plus 3x minus 9. Now we'll be shifting this 5 on the other side. 5 multiplied by 3x minus 3 is equal to 2x square plus 3x minus 9. When we simplify it, we'll be getting 15x minus 15 is equal to 2x square plus 3x minus 9. 2x square plus 3x minus 15x minus 9 plus 15 is equal to 0. This can be simplified to 2x square minus 12x plus 6 is equal to 0. All of these terms are divisible by 2. So when we're dividing the whole equation by 2, we'll get x square minus 6x plus 3 is equal to 0, which was a statement that we had to prove in the question. Part B of the same question. Use the quadratic formula to solve the equation x square minus 6x plus 3 is equal to 0, and you must show all your working and give your answers correct to 2 decimal places. Now the quadratic formula is x is equal to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Now the equation was x square minus 6x plus 3 is equal to 0. So the value of a is 1, the value of b is minus 6, the value of c is equal to 3. Now when we input these values of a, b and c into the equation, we'll get x is equal to minus 6 plus minus 6 whole square minus 4 into 1 into 3. This whole is divided by 2 into a, that is 1. When we simplify this, we'll be getting x is equal to 6 plus minus 36 minus 4 into 3 is 12 divided by 2. Then x is equal to 6 plus under root 36 minus 12 divided by 2, and x is equal to 6 minus under root 36 minus 12 divided by 2. When we put both of these equations in the calculator, we'll be getting x is equal to 5.45 and x is equal to 0.55. Both of these correct to 2 decimal places. Then in B part 2, we have to calculate the shaded area. The shaded area in the question was EFGD subtracted by ABCD. So to calculate the area of the shaded area, we need to subtract EFGD, the larger rectangle, by the smaller one. The area of EFGD in terms of x would be 2x minus 3 multiplied by x plus 3, and the area of ABCD in terms of x was 3 bracket x minus 1. So when we simplify this, we'll be getting 2x square minus 6. Now first we'll put one value of x into this equation. By using 5.45, we'll be getting the answer 53.41, and by putting the value 0.55, we'll be getting the answer minus 5.395. As we know that area can never be negative, this answer will be rejected, and this will be the actual answer. Question 21. It shows a diagram. The diagram shows a solid formed by joining a cone to a hemisphere. The diameter of the cone is 14, and the diameter of the cone is 14, and the diameter of the hemisphere is also 14. The total height is 24 centimeters. So if the diameter is 14, the radius will be 7 centimeter. So this part is 7, which means this is also 7. This whole area is 7 centimeters, which is basically the height of the hemisphere. In part A, calculate the volume of the solid. Volume of the entire solid will be equal to volume of the cone plus volume of the hemisphere. The formula for volume of a cone is 1 over 3 pi r square h, plus volume of the hemisphere is 2 over 3 pi r cube. Now 1 over 3 into pi into the radius is 7 centimeters, so 7 square, and the height of the cone is 24 minus 7. 24 minus 7 is 17. So the height of the cone is 17. Then we add this with 2 over 3 multiplied by pi multiplied by r cube. The radius of the hemisphere is also 7. So 7 cubed. When we put this all in the calculator, we'll be getting 1590.69. So our final answer will be 1591. Part B, show that the total surface area of the solid is 712 centimeters square, correct to the nearest integer. So when we look at the diagram, in order to find the total surface area, we'll have to add the surface area of the hemisphere and the surface area of the cone. So total surface area is equal to surface area of hemisphere plus surface area of the cone. Surface area of the hemisphere is 2 pi r square plus surface area of the cone is pi r l. Now this L that's written right here, when we look at the diagram, we'll be drawing a triangle right here. If we draw it on the side, this is 7, this is 24, and this hypotenuse right here will be L. So L is equals to square root 24 square plus 7 square, and this will be equal to, this isn't 24, this is 17. So this height right here is 17. this is L and this is 7. So L will be equal to square root 17 square plus 7 square. And this basically comes up to 13 under root 2 centimeters. We'll be using this value of L to find the surface area of the cone. So surface area of hemisphere 2 into pi, and r is 7 square, plus pi into radius, that is 7, multiplied by L. L that we just now calculated is 13 under root 2. When we put this in the calculator, we'll be getting the answer 712.178, and we have to round it off to the nearest integer. So the answer will be 712 centimeters square. And this was what we had to prove in the question. In part C, it states a smaller solid is mathematically similar to this solid. The total surface area of the smaller solid is 242 centimeters square. Calculate the total height. Now, because the question itself is telling us that the smaller solid is mathematically similar, we'll be using the concept of similarity to solve this part. Basically, according to similarity, the ratio of total surface area of similar objects will be equal to square of the ratio of their heights. Both of these ratios will be same. So the total surface area of the larger solid that we calculated was 712 centimeters square, and its height was 24 centimeters. The smaller solid, the total surface area that is given in the question is 242 centimeters square. So 242 centimeters square, and its height is unknown. We have to find the height, so I'll take it as x. Now, according to the formula of similarity, total surface area, the ratios 712 divided by 242 is equal to square of the ratio of their heights. So 24 divided by x whole square. In order to remove the square sign, I'll take root on both sides. So under root 712 divided by 242 is equal to 24 divided by x. And when we simplify this, x will be equal to 13.99, and this can be rounded off to 14 centimeters. So the height of the smaller solid is 14 centimeter. Now in question 22, it shows a diagram. Diagram shows a triangular field ABC. AB is 150, BC is 187, and angle ABC is 112. Fencing is needed for the perimeter of the field. Fencing sold in rolls of length 20 meter. Calculate the number of rolls of fencing needed. So first, in order to find the perimeter, we have to add all the sides. AB is given, BC is given, but AC is unknown. So first we'll find AC. AC can be found by using cos rule. AC square is equals to, cos rule will basically be AB square plus BC square minus 2AB into BC multiplied by cos of the angle between AB and BC. Angle between AB and BC is 112 degrees. This can be written as 150 square plus 187 square minus 2 into 150 into 187 into cos 112, and we'll put a square root sign. So AC will be equal to 280.2 meters. AC is 280.2. Now in order to find the perimeter, we add AB, BC and AC. So the perimeter will be 150 plus 187 plus 280.2. The perimeter is 617 centimeters. Now, fencing is sold in rolls of length 20 meters. So if it is sold in lengths of 20 meters, we'll just simply divide 617 by 20, and we'll be getting 30.85. 30.85 are the total rolls that are needed. The number of rolls of fencing that are needed are 30.85, and when we round it off to the nearest whole number, we'll be getting 31. Now part B, calculate the shortest distance from B to AC. From B to AC, the shortest distance would be the perpendicular distance. So we'll draw a line. This represents 90 degrees. This is the distance that we need to find. Now here sine rule would be applicable. We have to first find angle A. Angle A can also be found by sine rule. So when we apply sine rule, we get angle A over 187 sine of A divided by 187 is equal to sine of 112 divided by 280.2. We basically divide by the length that is opposite to the angle. So A will be equal to 38.3. Angle A. Now this angle A is 38.3. We can redraw this smaller triangle on the side. This is 38.3. This length is 150, A and B, and X is what we have to find. So this is opposite and this is adjacent. So we can apply tan theta is equals to opposite divided by adjacent. The opposite side is X and adjacent is 150. So tan 38.3 is equal to X divided by 150. So X will be equal to tan 38.3 multiplied by 150, and this will be 118.3. Question number 23. Zara cycles a distance of 500 meters correct to the nearest 5 meters. Nearest 5 meters means that in order to find the uncertainty, we'll divide 5 by 2 and this will be 2.5. This takes 24.7 seconds correct to the nearest 0.1 second. 0.1 seconds means to find the uncertainty 0.1 divided by 2, which is equal to 0.05. Basically, it's a rule that we divide the nearest by 2 to get the uncertainty. Calculate the lower bound of our average speed. So the distance, in order to find the upper bound of distance, we'll add 2.5 to 500. 500 plus 2.5. This gives us 502.5. 502.5. This is the upper bound of the distance, and the lower bound of this distance can be found by subtracting 2.5. We get 497.5. This is the lower bound. Then to find the time, the upper bound of time will be found by adding 2.5, by adding 0.05. 24.7 plus 0.05. And the lower bound will be found by subtracting 0.05. So 24.7 minus 0.05. It is basically a rule that the upper bound is found by adding the uncertainty and the lower bound is found by subtracting. So the upper bound will be 24.75 and the lower bound will be 24.65. Now we basically have to find the lower bound of our average speed. So the formula for speed is equal to distance divided by time. The smallest value of distance divided by time will be obtained by dividing the smallest value of distance by the largest value of time. The numerator needs to be small, denominator needs to be large. So we'll basically divide the lower bound of distance by the upper bound of time. Lower bound of distance is 497.5 and the upper bound of time is 24.75. The answer will be S is equal to 20.10. Question number 24, express as a single fraction in its simplest form. 5 divided by 2x plus 1 minus 2 divided by 4x minus 3. So basically first we'll find the LCM. LCM can be found by multiplying both the denominators. 2x plus 1 multiplied by 4x minus 3. Now 5 will be multiplied by 4x minus 3 and 2 will be multiplied by 2x plus 1. Then we open both the brackets. 5 into 4 is 20 minus 5 into 3 is 15. 2 into 4 is 4x. Because there is a minus sign outside the bracket, the positive sign inside the bracket will become negative. When we subtract 20x and 4, we'll be getting 16x, and minus 15 minus 2 will become minus 17. This will be the simplest form.